Hi everyone, it's Nicholas. So another 2 weeks of additional lockdown here in Malaysia. So I'm really just trying to kill time over here. So one thing recently I noticed is that I'm still gaining traffic from a particular video that I made back in January of 2019. Yes, so it is the HP NV13, a review video that I've made. So if you haven't checked that out and if you're interested in purchasing a HP NV, the link is in the description box below. So today's video is more of like an update or like a follow-up to that particular video. So of course, there's already a new version right now, the 2020 HP 13 NV, the one with the wood edition. Yes, very special. So we're gonna compare both of the laptops and see if anything has been improved. So the HP NV13, I honestly really dig that laptop. I've dailied it for almost half a year or even more than that. One of the main features or what makes the laptop so special is because it's a convertible and a foldable. So there are 3 different modes. Of course, you have your basic laptop mode, there's a tent mode, and there's also a tablet mode, which means that the laptop is a touchscreen and it comes with a pen. What? What kind of manufacturer includes a pen for the laptop, right? If you look at the Microsoft lineup, everything ranging from the keyboard to the pen, you have to pay for those, and it is about 400 each. So in total, with the laptop itself, you need to add on an additional amount of 800 ringgit for you to get the full package. And what's more impressive is that the HP NV, it's considered as one of the budget lineup in terms of, HP's laptop, Spectre being at the top, and the laptop itself is super affordable. My unit, if I remember correctly, it was about 4,000 ringgit. Yeah, and I honestly think that you can even find it, that specific variant, cheaper in today's market. And don't be fooled, the spec on that particular laptop is not that bad as well. It has 8GB of RAM, 256GB of SSD. I really like that. It's very happy to hear, because in Microsoft's lineup, they start base at 128 gigs. It's never enough. It comes with their very own IR camera security login. In my memory, it wasn't that great. I mean, if you compare to Windows Hello, not as fast as Windows Hello, but it still worked fine. It still has facial recognition. One thing I would like to give the HP NV props for would be their speakers. So it is a Bang & Olufsen brand, and I would say that their speakers are one of the top on the list, in Windows laptops. So if Microsoft Surface is here, it would be around here. It is really good because it has several speakers on the laptop itself. So one is on the front strip, which is facing you, and there are also 2 different speakers firing from the bottom. So the speakers are pretty much catered to you as a user in whichever mode you use your laptop in. It could be in laptop, tent, or even tablet mode. The speakers will still sound amazing in any of the modes. One more thing that I would like to give prop to the HP NV before we move on to the sensitive issues and topics, that would be the selection of ports. On the HP NV, it's very impressive how they keep the laptop so thin and light, but at the same time with a good selection of ports. So, other manufacturers, it's not that they cannot do it. Look at HP. So there's a very good variety of ports. There's USB-A, there's the 3.5mm headphone jack, there's also an SD card reader. So as you can see, a very good selection of ports, and not just how there's only one USB-A port on the Microsoft Surface and a display port. That doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so far so good, right? A really good laptop so far. But as you notice, I didn't really mention about the chipset that my laptop uses, and that's because that is the main issue for me. Okay, so here goes. My laptop uses the AMD Ryzen 5 2500 quad-core processor, and as for the GPU, it's an AMD Radeon Vega 8 graphics. So this specification is not bad, because there's a Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, which is the one that I'm having, and Ryzen 7. So if we're talking in terms of Intel's chipset, this would be head to head with the i5. So not too bad. But I would say particularly for this specific model, the 2500, is where I don't think the chip is very much optimized for the laptop. I know Ryzen makes a lot of good desktop chipsets, as I mentioned before, I think. Or if you look at any other reviews on YouTube, they always say that Ryzen makes good chipsets for desktop. But whenever it comes to laptop, Intel is still always the one that is preferable. So hopefully, the future chipsets like the 3500 and above would perform much better than this second generation Ryzen chipsets for the laptop, which we will compare shortly with the 2020 HP Envy in a bit, okay? So I think my main concern with this laptop was that it really had poor battery life. And for me, it's just the laptop is not optimized and it's always hot. Something is always running in the background and you can hear physically the fan spinning. So I can be in a lecture in university, and what happens is that I wouldn't be on any sort of applications, just Microsoft PowerPoint, and the battery life could only last me about, I would say, a good 2 to 3 hours, and that's it, and I will have to charge the laptop. Something is obviously wrong if a laptop is unable to continue past the 3-hour limit on the battery, right? And what happened to mine is that it's just always hot. So for me, it was really a deal breaker. And for some reason on my unit, I guess the Wi-Fi chip that they utilized wasn't that great, and it was in 2019. So what happened was I wasn't able to connect to any network that is 5G. So the computer can only search for computers that are, Wi-Fi that are on the 2.4 gigahertz network, but it cannot detect 5G at all. So that was another frustrating issue that I had. I updated the BIOS, I did whatever I could, I contacted their customer service, and back and forth, a lot of information exchange and stuff, but still nothing could be worked up. So obviously, as you can tell, super disappointed, because it is a good laptop. It's almost perfect, I would say. All the features and everything that I mentioned in the past, I really mean it. But despite whatever gimmicks or features that the laptop has, if it does not perform well at its core, like the core values of what a laptop should provide, if that cannot be achieved, what good is a laptop, right? So it's not just me that has this issue. If you take a look at the preview that I've made previously and jump down into the comment section, you can see that there are a lot of people that are experiencing the same issues as well. And there are also many different complaints on the official page for that particular product. So, is there any improvement in the 2020 variant of the HP NV13? So a quick review from Laptop Mag. Now it states that that it has disappointing battery life, which I don't know why, because the variant that they reviewed is the Intel i7, so I am expecting much better optimization and performance, but unfortunately not. And for the unit itself, it is limited to 8 gigabytes of RAM. I suppose maybe because this is soldered on to the motherboard, and because it is considered a budget range laptop, that's why. But yeah, so the price, it's at 1,100 USD, so that's around, I would say, if you add tax and everything, in Malaysia it will cost about 4,800 ringgit, so still okay. But yeah, this variant also has the 512 gigabyte storage. So obviously, still a good selection of ports. It says that it has a very comfortable keyboard because now they have a real wood panel across the laptop's place where you place your palm at when you type the keyboard. So I suppose that is very much more comfortable. But yeah, so it's quite disappointing to see that the 2020 variant still has disappointing battery life. But trust me, I think it would be much better as compared to the variant that I had. So remember, if you're going to get any sort of HP Envy laptops, be sure to avoid the variant that I had, which is once again Ryzen 5 2500. So that is the chipset that you definitely want to avoid at all costs. Other than that, let me know what else you guys are interested in. Do leave me a comment in the comment section box below. I will be very much happy to reply to any queries or concerns that you have. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. My name is Nicholas, and I will catch you guys in the next one.